Rahul, the time away from Parliament has worked for Rahul Gandhi perception-wise. Possibly it would be a different image-wise, Rahul Gandhi coming into Parliament as and when he does. It's a catch-22 for the government as well, Rahul, don't you think? Because less than 24 hours, he was disqualified. They need to show, at least perception-wise, the same alacrity of reintroducing him back in Parliament.
Preeti, we should look at this, what I call supreme relief from the Supreme Court in form or in a wider context. If you look at the last 6 months, the opposition's narrative has been dominated by Rahul Gandhi. If we have a strong narrative, if we find the opposition, the government on the back foot, we can say certainly the Bharat Jodo Yatra, Rahul Gandhi's challenges from foreign nations, and also the kind of effort he has put in. I think in that scenario, this is a big step forward for the Congress party. Why I say that, it's not just Rahul Gandhi can be back in Parliament, but each moment or each hour of delay in reinstating his membership of the lower house is a negative for the government, for the BJP. The second very important element is that the Supreme Court order just doesn't talk about the fact that how the maximum sentence of 2 years was given because that's the matching condition for disqualifying a member of parliament. It also says it was detrimental to the interests of the electorate, the voters. And that's got a political sound to it. The Congress party can build something out of this as a meal and attack the government. It also creates a very positive energy for the India coalition, in which Rahul Gandhi and Lalu Prasad Yadav, two of the main top leaders or who have a national footprint, were not in a position to contest elections and steer or become some kind of generals as far as the 2024 elections are concerned. This comes as a major positive for this coalition. Also, in terms of Rahul Gandhi's imagery, in terms of branding, for the Congress party, it's a plus. You already have leaders like Mr. Kheda saying, Pawan Khera saying that he will turn out to be a Bazigar. Supriya Srinath saying that Sher Dahadega. So you can see that positive energy as far as the Congress cadres are concerned. But I have two very slight problems in terms of some negative which can happen. One, a very buoyant Congress with the return of Congress, Rahul Gandhi in Parliament, in the electoral fray as somebody who can contest elections, will, I think, create a sentiment in the Congress parties that can he be the face of the India coalition or the larger opposition.
And that's possibly, Rahul, what the Alliance India wouldn't want now, or rather the Congress also wouldn't want right now. You know, to pitch a battle against Rahul Gandhi versus Modi is detrimental for the Congress and works for the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is now, I would reckon, common sense, politically speaking. But I just want to bring in Charu Pragya into this conversation before we go back to Ms. Jyoti Mani. Charu Pragya, the question now lies, I was going back to the explanation given by your own party spokesperson, the explanation given by then Speaker on why Rahul Gandhi was in less than 24 hours. And that time it was said very clearly it was the court's order and we acted on it. Will the same amount of alacrity be shown to reinstate him? Because this time it's the Supreme Court order, ma'am.
Good evening, and I apologize for my bad throat, Preeti. See, it was neither the speaker which disqualified Mr. Gandhi, and it will not be the speaker who will reinstate him, because this was done constitutionally. There is a provision in our constitution which automatically makes him ineligible to attend parliament if he's been convicted, and he was. And this conviction was done by an honorable High Court of our country. We need to remember this. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say
what stalled, if it was the constitution, what stalled the reinstatement for months of the Lakshadweep MP, ma'am? Because the Lakshadweep MP does say that the Lok Sabha Secretariat, the Speaker, sat on it for weeks after he was reinstated.
Yes, absolutely. And that is so because maybe some examination needed to be done. Can I just first finish my statement?
Please, madam, go ahead. Yes.
The second thing is the Supreme Court today has not given Mr. Gandhi a clean chit, and the Congress will do well to remember that. This is temporary, this is interim, and the Supreme Court has also made very clear observations It does not suit a public leader to speak like this, to generalize, to speak with such extreme arrogance. Okay, arrogance is not a crime, but is generalization fair? And wouldn't humility be for anybody to say that I did not mean this to be a generic statement and I only meant a few specific people, and I take it back. He did not choose to do that.
Ms.
So
Charu Pragya, you know, what's interesting here is because I can get Ms. Jyoti Mani, because she can quote you back the observations of the Supreme Court, which can be very damning for the government as well for the High Court. Because at somewhere down the line, the observation, if you read them, seems to be mocking what the High Court had said, where the learned judge, the leader of the bench, said very clearly that they're very interesting kinds of observations that come in from High Court sometimes. So let's not get in there, because it's none the richer to quote half of the judgment or the observation of the Supreme Court, madam. It wouldn't serve anyone well. I'll ask you back the same question. Will we see the same amount of alacrity for the reinstatement of Mr. Rahul Gandhi that we saw in his disqualification?
Okay, absolutely. And we come back to that, but I will also do, I want to remind you that the High Court and the Supreme Court have a relationship which is entirely their own. And sly smiles are not going to mean that you can connect them all to the government. We should remember that. And the reason why the Constitution has a provision like this is thanks to Mr. Gandhi himself. He is a victim of tearing up the very ordinance that could have saved him today. So we should remember that. Also, you know, it's not like there has been any kind of an interest shown. This is more a move from the Congress to play the victim card. Do you remember the time Mr. Khera had a case and then a lawyer was at the court's door within 2 hours? Why did it take the Congress party so long to even go knocking on the court's door? Are you trying to tell me that the Congress party does not have enough sufficient able lawyers who could do that? They wanted to stretch it out. And also today, even though you are translating the court's words...
Madam, I'm not translating, I am verbatim quoting.
Chasm.
Verbatim quoting, madam, not translating. I don't want to get into territory which I am charged with translating what the court said, quoting.